Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucie, Chris, and Hugh. And now, Disneyland Paris News. Disneyland Paris have announced Pride Weekend, scheduled for June the 12th, and Electroland Weekend, scheduled for July the 2nd to the 4th, have both been cancelled for 2021.
The World of Disney in the Disney Village continues to open Friday to Sunday this weekend and next. However, in line with French government guidelines, the capacity has been reduced from 179 to 143.
Scaffolding continues to be erected around Sleeping Beauty's castle, with the rear facade completely covered.
Construction extends beyond the parks, with cast member accommodations, Les Pléiades, in the process of being demolished and rebuilt into a new campus with 600 modern studios.
Oops.
You totally faked him out for a bong then, Hugh.
Sorry. I was doing my Bruce Forsyth style. You are absolutely right.
I'm really hoping everyone can hear us at the moment and that the audio is not too bad, because I'm very, very nervous right now.
Hannah Marie says, great work, Chris. Looks great.
Oh, good. I was
goodness.
just going to say, I want to give a heads up to our teammate, Team Chris, for sorting out some entire new technological wizardry this week.
Last week, after the show, after the classic show we recorded, Lucie sort of said, is there any way we can do this and that? And I turned, and Chris said, I don't think so. And I went, no.
Don't bother.
But
it's
Chris
fine.
loves a challenge, and look what he's made.
We've been getting updates all week, and we've been getting ghost experiments with him walking in and out of his own kitchen as well.
Hannah Marie does say you're a little bit quiet though, Chris. I like
That's
this. It's live feedback.
Yes,
feedback.
I'll tell you what, I'll get a bit closer to my microphone in the hope that it works a little bit better. Or maybe I'll
you sound quite loud to me.
No heavy breathing now, please, Chris. It's it's post-watershed, isn't it? We can do what we like.
Is he still quiet? Because Andrew Palmer also says he's quiet.
Right, let me have a quick look at my audio to see if I can fix this problem.
Well, that's all right. Do you want me to get chatting about something while you fix it? Or
are we going to discuss the news first?
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to, because when I read this out, I think I read it incorrectly. I made it sound like Disneyland Paris have announced Pride Weekend, scheduled for June the 12th. But it should have been, Disneyland Paris have announced that Pride Weekend, scheduled for June the 12th, and blah, 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 have both been cancelled.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what
sounds,
it meant.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. Is this
so
a bit better
Electroland
now,
Weekend?
by the way? I'm hoping my audio is a bit better. I just realised the balance was right down.
Judges?
A little better.
A little better. We shall see.
A little better.
We'll give it time. If it's not right this week, it'll be right next week. It's fine.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Fabulous. Right. So, sorry, Hugh, that might be my punctuation at fault there. Or maybe you should read the news before the show starts.
And not as the title's starting, open the email and then read it. Maybe I should read it at some point during the day.
This is, we're on to the second turnover now, because these were the first two big event cancellations announced last year in March, and they're the first kind of second generation COVID announcements made, if you know what I mean, the second lot that's been confirmed as not happening. So it's understandable. It's large gatherings. The Pride Weekend is I don't know how they're going to cope. I know they'll cancel the main event, but it's a big thing in general is Disney Pride. And even before it was official or it was advertised, it used to be a big thing for the LGBT community to go. Lots of people would wear rainbows. So I'm presuming that in an unofficial capacity, that will still be celebrated.
Disney Pride sounds like it's like they're just proud to be Disney characters. I'm here and I'm Lumiere.
Get used to it.
They're very careful to skate the fine line between showing appreciation and also being aware that they're family friendly, multinational, multi-religious, etc. So it celebrates diversity of all kinds.
Non-denominational.
Yes, that's the word. So it celebrates diversity of all kinds, and it's a real big family event as well at Disney, which perhaps it isn't as much in sort of city centres, Manchester, Canal Street, etc. It's a very family friendly thing. So again, a shame, but I really hope that it's embraced this year. Electroland, guys, I don't get it.
What don't you get?
I don't get electric music. I don't get going somewhere like Disneyland to watch loads of lasers flop around and some guy on a stage going, oh.
You don't want to...
Oh no, we've lost them. This is unprecedented. I don't know what it means, and I don't know what to do. I'm flying solo. Help me! What happens in this situation? Oh, do you know what? Oh, you're back. What? I can see you waving. I can see you now. I just can't hear you. Oh no! And then I've moved you across the screen. Hang on. I'm just going to have a look and see if we can work out what's going on. It's good as times like this, isn't it? This is yeah. Help me! I'm like a rabbit in headlights. Do you know what? I'm just going to go to the start card for a minute and try and work out what on earth is going on here. Worst case, we'll abandon everything and come back in a few minutes' time and see if that fixes it. So bear with me.
Yeah.
We're back. It wasn't my fault. Yay!
It was entirely my fault. I had a FaceTime call pop up on my iPad that I'm using, so it won't happen again.
So now we know that if someone tries to call you while we're doing this, that ruins everything.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Wow.
Okay.
What a night to find that out.
So, well, let's just go straight back into it. So I don't know how big Electroland stuff is in the UK. I think it's quite massive in mainland Europe. I don't know. Are you guys down with that? Does it appeal?
Does it appeal to me? Not entirely, but I do know people like it. I guess, it takes all types of people, doesn't it? So I don't see any issue with it.
Oh, no, I'm not criticising it. I'm going...
It's not for me.
I'd be willing to see what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be brilliant.
Could be. I mean,
I think the thing is, it seems a very adult pastime. It doesn't seem very family friendly, and most things that Disney do are. Anyway, that's for other people. I won't be going. Anyway, the World of Disney is still doing the thing that we said it was doing last week. It's still opening for 3 weekends, but obviously we were taught last week about them queuing all the way around the hub, etc., because they've got limited capacity. They've reduced this capacity. The numbers seem quite arbitrary if you don't know how they worked out, don't they? I presume it's on square footage or something.
Yeah.
But I was quite surprised how high they were, because 179 people, I suppose it's a big shop. I don't know if that includes staff, etc., but that seems like loads to say that people were queuing around the block as well.
It does seem quite a lot. I guess they're telling people to maximise their time in there as well, aren't they? Like don't be coming back again. And they've limited to, is it 50 items they can purchase now or something? Because,
Yeah, 50 items per guest, which
50.
is not that limited, is it?
Not really.
They must have had some serious problems with eBayers if they're limiting to 50. There must have been people getting 70 items, mainly pins.
I remember seeing people being shamed for buying Splash Mountain merchandise.
Oh.
When it was announced it was getting...
It announced it was changing, and then it reopened, and the first day of the park being reopened, there was people going, those big IKEA carrier bags? They had them two strapped to one arm, two strapped to the other arm, one round their head. Ooh, all this kind of walking down Main Street.
Yeah.
It's grubby, isn't it? It's grubby.
It is a little bit.
I think this prompts an interesting discussion, though, because there's people who buy them as chances and put them on eBay and make a profit, but there's a lot of people who shop to order. There are
Yeah.
people who make a living in Florida. Someone like me would say, could you get me a Brer Rabbit plush, pay in advance? And they're only making a couple of quid on it, you know, rather than selling it for 10 times its value. How do you feel about that compared to eBayers?
If it's being bought for somebody, I don't really have any problem with it as such. I think when it's being bought for people to bang on eBay and try and get as much money as they can, I'm a bit less happy about it. I bid on a copy of a book this week on eBay, and I was the leading bidder for a very long time. And in the last 10 seconds, somebody outbid me. They blatantly waited, you know, these lurkers like they do.
Well, that's what I do, Chris. I'm a lurker because people show the hand too early.
Yeah,
And it's like, who are these people that are placing bids like, you know, like 2 days before this and that and this? Like, you wait until there's 20 seconds, like you get everything set up, and then people, they get relaxed. They're like, I've won this. And then you swoop in and you get it. That's when you get it.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
2 devices on the go, watching the clock on one, refreshing the other.
I'm glad I beat you to that item, Chris.
Yeah. The frustrating thing is...
taught you a lesson.
Yeah, you did teach me. The frustrating thing is that you... if I would have paid that a bit more, it's just that's what's annoying to me, is I would have paid more for it than I did.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I have just won 2 items that I bid on 2 days ago, and I paid a penny over the initial asking price, and I won them both because I knew no one would buy them. Susie got a Splash Mountain jumper for $5 from the Disney outlet shop, and she's saying it'll be worth loads. That sounds good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Do you know, I was debating next time we go to Florida whether we're going to bother taking the taxi trip out to the outlet, but that story alone has made me think, no, we do need to. We do need to. I got an amazing dress. I got an orange bird dress from there. It was fabulous.
And we saw a vlogger that we watch a lot who just split up with his partner. Well, she split up with him
publicly,
and and he did like a public video where he was crying and everything and saying, I don't know why, and she was there, and I went,
it's nothing like vlogger spotting in Florida, is there?
And we'd already like taken his side, and we're like, there she is, which isn't fair because we don't know the ins and outs, but
yes, fun times. Right, the castle. I'd kind of said when we heard about this, I said it wouldn't stop me going, probably not even for the first time. The castle's never important as you think it is. But we were on a social Zoom call last night, and I was flicking through Twitter during a lull, and a picture came up, and I turned to you and went, have you seen it? Have you seen it? It does look a bit of a state at the moment. Now, having said that, the tarp isn't up, and they're having one of those litho printed tarps up so it looks realistic, but it has gone right to the tip of that tower.
If you just see down here, there's a Wheato stuck to our castle, and I noticed it earlier, but I left it there because Bonnie puts this over while she has a breakfast, and Lucie hasn't noticed there's a Wheato stuck to it, and I thought this will be funny to mention on the show.
The housewife shame.
Look, it's stuck on hard.
That's
don't
grim.
pull it down. Right, okay.
Listen to it.
Wow.
It's a rock hard Wheato.
So it goes up to the second highest tower, and it's completely encased in classic steel scaffolding. You can't see the castle at all. It's not what you want to see to cheer you up. Having said that, I really, 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 really hope that the management at Disneyland Paris have said there's nobody in the park, so we can work round the clock. Let's get as much of this done while there's no one here as possible.
Yeah.
Because, of course, in previous years, they either have to do only cosmetic things during park opening or wait till after park closing. And that's why things take months and months and months. I really hope that they're pushing forward on this, because that would be good.
Yeah.
If they could. Because, when it finally reopens in April and they've got reduced capacity, perspex everywhere, and no castle, maybe not going to be the quite the happiest place on earth at that point. But we might be there to tell you. Oh, have we mentioned this? No. I made some park reservations.
Oh, you hinted that you might.
Tentative park reservations. With no transport.
Over 3 days, the one in the middle, we don't have a reservation for. So
because it was booked up. This is what forced my hand. Is I went on April, thinking like, let's have a look, let's see, and there was only 2 days left in the whole of April. There was the 6th and the 8th, so I booked some park reservations for the 6th and the 8th, and that was it. And now it's completely sold out to mid-May. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
But I will be a good citizen and cancel them in good time if we decide not to go. But yeah, we don't know what's happening with our Florida holiday. So if we're not going to Florida, we're darn well going to Paris. Right. So the Disney housing, the dormitories.
I took a gamble with that pronunciation.
You did well. You did well. I was impressed.
Did I?
Places. It's places.
Places.
Oh, I thought it was
why I manage places.
Le Pleiades.
No, it's spelled differently. In Lucie's notes, it's spelled differently. At the top,
that's just a
further
typo.
down.
All right.
Which one?
Yeah, so it's an opening day facility, which means it's 27 years old, and it is very, very much in the ilk of, you're out of town, halls of residence, university kind of things. And it's been completely demolished and rebuilt from scratch with new improved campus-style services. So we presume that's going to be a dining hall and communal laundry and things like that.
Union Bar.
Now, yeah. Now, this is another thing that I wonder if they're exploiting, and good on them if they are, they're exploiting the current situation. Because this is, of course, meant to house international cast members and college program cast members, people on learning exchanges, that kind of thing. And there won't be any. They've cancelled all temporary contracts at the moment. So they're working on a basic staff who will all be locals. So I'm presuming that this needed replacing, but they probably would have had to do it a building at a time. Or a section at a time or something. But they've raised it. They've just floored the whole thing. They've knocked all the buildings down and they're starting a new village from scratch. So again, silver linings.
God, there's all sorts going on, isn't there? Busy.
Chris, do that clever thing where we're split into 3.
Okay.
I'm very concerned that you were all tiny in the corner.
Well, I'll tell you what. Shall I do this for a while? It's just while I'm not talking, I can have it like this and just keep going.
Well, who do we see? Has anyone got any comments on our news? That's what I meant to say next.
Ooh.
Anyone got anything interesting to add?
Well, let's see.
Does the castle bother anyone?
Hannah Marie has said, with the Disney hotel and the castle under construction, I'm really debating making a last-minute trip. Do you mean debating whether
not to
go or to go?
Just to see what it's like. I love a good building site, me.
Oh, Mark Chester's here. Mark, was it you or Mark with a Q who asked us last week why we were called 37 Disney Street? Oh, no, it was Mark Chester. Yeah, it was Mark Chester. So I can answer that for you now if you want. That's a little interjection.
That's a good idea, yeah.
1937 was when Snow White came out, and since we were doing a classics review show initially, we liked the number 37, and we also liked the idea of living in a house, and we'll watch the film in the house, and then we review it afterwards, and then we pop up to the kids' bedroom and ask them what they think. So we're better than 37 Disney Street. We spent a long time figuring that out, didn't we?
Well,
we did.
What actually happened, I'm going to take some credit here, is we needed a name for our podcast. So I sat down one morning while these two were at work, and I forced myself to come up with 50 names for our podcast. Remember this?
I do. I remember it well, yes.
Remember getting the message?
Like it was
and
yesterday.
49 of them were rubbish. And in fact,
or already used.
Hugh's summation was that 50 of them were rubbish. And I kind of sulkily went in the car, I liked Disney Street, because that's all I put on the list, wasn't it? I liked Disney Street. I thought it could be like we lived there. And then we kind of discussed it and built on that.
And then I said, I listen to Kevin Smith podcasts a lot. And 37's like this mystic number for him. And there's this whole thing about 37s appearing everywhere. And he went, oh, yeah, quite like the idea of that. And then we kind of just settled on it, didn't we? We settled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
We
settled.
settled.
In life as in podcasts.
Andrew Palmer says that he imagines the cast quarters are like Dirty Dancing.
I carried a watermelon.
Oh,
All right, so Hannah Marie's just clarifying, not to go. That makes more sense. And Lee Stephen Cooper, he says it's going to be strange with no castle, but hopefully it will make the 30th celebrations amazing.
I just
Marvel opening too.
I just want to be in a Disney park. I just really, really, really need to be in a Disney park under any circumstances, and the sooner the better.
Yeah.
And we've been before. We can take it.
Yeah.
And I thought if we did have a day in between, we might go over to Chessie, because we've never been before, and go to the shopping centre and check that out, see what's
Oh,
what.
that'd be nice. Hey?
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Susie thought 37 was the age of our target audience.
No.
Probably is.
Bit young.
The median age. Right. So, whose face do we look at while we listen to Bob's question,
I
Chris?
don't have a question from Bob today, I'm afraid. And sorry, Bob, I did mention this to him when he emailed over this week. He has sent me some new questions. Hooray. But I was kind of doing all of this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Maybe we should just
kind of
play his
distracted me a bit.
jingle and all just sit and think about him.
I haven't got his jingle set up either because I knew I didn't have his question today, so I wasn't ready for it.
Okay.
So, we're moving on. Sorry, go on then.
No, I was just going to say, I've got, look, on my mobile phone now, I've got this soundboard thing, but it also allows me to change the cameras and stuff. It's quite clever, but if I want a sound on it, I have to load it in, and I haven't loaded it in, so it's tough. I can play the Tiki Cup song. I can play the filler music like I did when everything went to pot earlier on, those of you who missed it. And I can play bongs, but that's about all I can do this week, I'm afraid.
Was that background the wrong way around a moment ago?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's just flipped.
It shouldn't have
No,
done.
no, I think I'm talking rubbish. Right.
Right. This week's discussion question then.
Oh, yeah.
This question kind of sprang out of I was watching some geeky Disney World discussion things, and it made me start thinking about Paris. In hopefully about 5 years, we're going to get the Galaxy Edge Star Wars land built in the Paris park, we hope. And it's currently constructed in California and Orlando. I'm sorry, I'm really stuttering today. But the time frame is between episodes 8 and 9, I think. So you've got, and they did this was planned years before it was actually built. They've done it so that they could have BB-8 and
doing?
Rey, and Kylo Ren is like a centre figure in the Rise of the Resistance ride. And it's all kind of built around that.
Go on.
Now, what's happened since is they've announced, is it 15 new Star Wars, either
One or
TV
two.
shows, animations, or projects?
Yeah.
And they've also had a massive hit with The Mandalorian. They've got, who's the orange girl with the plaits?
Ahsoka.
They've got Ahsoka, who's hot property at the moment, and none of it fits in with this land. So the question is that I put to you, when they build it in Paris, should it stick to the original format as it is in America? Should it have a new timeline? And if so, which timeline? Or should they get a little bit slack with the canon and just throw everybody in there?
Oh.
What would be your ideal? You're both Star Wars geeks, so I'm going to leave it over to you now.
Chris?
I quite like this whole idea that they've got for the Marvel Avengers campus, that they connect the different parks through one of the features there, don't they? That everything's all connected. I'd like to see something like that happen. And so for me, it can't be the same as what's already there. It needs to be its own entity. And I think it can be somewhere that it can be connected to whatever else is already there in the existing galaxy's edge-eye, and in other places. But it'd be nice to see something a bit different. I'm not a big fan of the whole idea of just taking something and cloning it. We put Toy Story Land in Paris. They didn't just pick that up and do exactly the same thing in California. They did something different. So that's what I want to I want to see something different, something that moves it forward, something that advances it. So it makes sense that from a time frame and things that they do consider things a little bit differently. Yeah, I also quite like the idea that it's a different place anyway. Like, is it called Baku? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's Batu. Sorry, yeah, that it's its own entity anyway. Kind of leaves it open to be whatever it wants to be. But I don't think we need necessarily the Millennium Falcon there. I don't think it's an absolute necessity. It could be. I don't know. I just want to see something different, something new and interesting.
I think Galaxy's Edge in Florida, it's so short-sighted of them to say, no, it's going to be just the new films. So you can meet Rey, you can meet BB-8, especially, with what happened with those films and what a mess the whole thing was. And just, like the draw for people is always going to be Vader over Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
R2-D2 over BB-8. It is, isn't it? Because they're what you think of. But I think they are going to pull back a bit on that now, and they are going to start getting your Vaders and your Han Solos in there. But I kind of appreciate the world building and like having like a set timeline and stuff.
Yeah.
To make it sort of immersive. But at the end of the day, does anybody care? Like when you go there, you're in a park. You're not going to go, oh, there's Darth Vader, but wait a minute, there's I don't know, that little one that's got Moaning Myrtle's voice. Like, who cares? I don't mind. It's just Star Wars. I'll take it all.
The Star Wars project came about as a direct response to the Wizarding World in Universal, which has absolutely smashed all records. But I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. I haven't been there yet, so I can't speak from experience. But as far as I understand, no leading characters appear in the land at all. They don't have some poor man's Hermione sort of signing autographs on the corner.
Yeah.
They have the shops like Madame Malkin's and stuff like that. So the world is there, but the people aren't. And that is far more realistic, really, than just running into these massive celebrities. And I think I would prefer them to keep all recognizable characters from any film or TV series out of it.
Yeah.
Build a world we all recognize, and then they can have people of those races. They could have someone of Ahsoka's race, or they could have someone of Yoda's.
Don't even need that. It's just droids.
Species.
You don't need more than that. Droids.
Yeah,
it's all down to droids. If you got droids wandering around that land, independently.
Droids and stormtroopers. That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't feel like they quite 100% get what makes it magic. Like they seem hung up on, what's current, what they think is going to have the most appeal, whereas they're missing the magic.
They also, you have problems with the face characters interacting. The thing is, in Florida and California, is that the characters interact with you on the streets. It's not a meet and greet. So you'll see them running away from stormtroopers, and then they'll ask you to help them hide, and it's all this kind of interaction. You have big problems with that in Paris because of the multilingualness. And I know that they're multilingual in America as well, but not with the same bias as they are in Paris, where it's 12 different languages equally weighted. So I don't think they'll do that anyway.
I imagine it's just going to be the size of a courtyard anyway, with a couple of things around it.
Don't say that.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see them build something in the vein of the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse, set in Kashyyyk, and where it's always Life Day. I think what more could you want out of Star Wars than that? It's Christmas, it's festive. You could have a really good theme with it. It'd be amazing.
In all seriousness,
I'll take it.
If we got Endor, if they just, they will, in the end of the day, they are going to lift the blueprint over.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, they are going to lift the blueprint over because it's cheaper. This is how these corporations work. But if they could have Batuu in Orlando and we got Endor and we got the Ewoks tree houses, that would do me fine.
Moss Isley would be good.
Yes, Moss Isley would be good.
I mean, you've got a really obvious.
It's foliage.
You've got a
though.
really
Foliage
obvious
is nice.
theme for a restaurant there, haven't you? As well.
Well, they've got the cantina, haven't they, at Batu?
The thing about Moss Isley is this scope for that to span over different periods a lot easier, I think, because they touch on it in The Mandalorian. It appears in different areas, different times. So it's a good opportunity to kind of do that blend a little bit more, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm just prepared to hear what's going on and go, oh, they're doing that. Oh, all right, I'll go, but all right.
What do our friends think? What do our chatters think?
Andrew Palmer says with Obi-Wan coming out, it should be set between 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Yes, I think that's where the majority of the TV series are set, between 3 and 4.
Matt Chester would like a neon-heavy part of the world that was a Coruscantish.
Ooh.
Or Coruscant, as my friend used to pronounce it, and we had a big debate. We had a big pre-internet debate over it. I was like, I'm sure it's Coruscant. Is that? No, it's Coruscant. Andrew Palmer also says Endor in Sequoia Lodge.
Ooh.
Yes. Ooh, what if they rethemed? What if they rethemed Sequoia Lodge as Endor? Just the whole thing. Can't see it happening, but we can dream, can't we? We can dream.
I hope not.
Oh, Bambi.
I know.
First a mother and then that just seems a bit cruel.
Right. Shall I unfinally us?
Well, yeah, but I've got one little thing to say.
Go on then.
I've been watching this YouTube channel. It's called James Gurney, and he's just a painter. I just stumbled across one of his videos, recommended, and now I just watch his videos in the background all day long. It's just a watercolor gouache painter. Anyway, I was watching some of his videos, and then this other one popped up, and it was a bit different to the other ones. It was more like a documentary, and then I realized that this guy is the guy who created Dinotopia, which is appropriate because that was on the tram tour, wasn't it? And we used to slag it off and go, well, there's Dinotopia, who cares about that? But actually, I do like the sort of the idea behind it and the visuals. But I just thought it was interesting that I watched all these videos before I'd even found out, oh, it's that guy, is he?
For those of you who don't know, who've never had the joy of going on the tram tour, which even people who've been going for years just didn't bother because it wasn't a great attraction. Halfway around, for no reason, they had a sort of archway podium thing, which was a prop from a thing I've never seen called Dinotopia. I don't know how popular it was. Did you two watch it?
I've seen it, but it's, it started out as books.
Oh, okay.
No, not
yeah.
Anyway,
well, that will be sorely missed.
Just thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, that's where that comes from, and I got a new appreciation of it. The Dunn family, I say, they're loving our podcast. Maybe have a virtual day in the park.
Oh, we like those, don't we?
We have done a couple already.
We've done 2. What do we call them? Choosing days, haven't we? Where we go around.
We enjoy those.
And
actually, in 10 years' time, I won't be able to remember if we went there, the three of us, or not. Because they're so vivid in our minds as we walk through and we go, oh, I think I fancy a snack. What about you guys? So,
the thing is,
go back and find them.
Doing it with Hugh, though, if you haven't listened to them yet, this tells you so much about him. On his fantasy day, when he can do anything he wants,
Chris too.
Stuff still annoys him.
Chris too.
People get in his way on his fantasy day. He goes to the Princess Pavilion and it's Aurora. How can you disappoint yourself on your own fantasy day?
It's the beauty of it.
At least it wasn't a hairy Ariel, though, eh?
Yeah.
Right. And finally,
can I say something before you and finally? That is kind of unfinalying anyway. We got a review on iTunes.
No, we're not there. We're on to second discussion. This is the and finally discussion. We'll get to the reviews, Chris.
Oh, okay. Is that somewhere else? Okay, go.
Okay.
Shut up.
The and finally discussion. I'm trying to find little, almost pointless bits of news that we can talk about, and this was the most pointless bit of news I could find. So, Disneyland Paris now sell branded shoe rain covers for €30.
Wow.
Would you buy them? Now, I saw this on, I think it was Twitter, and there was loads of people underneath going, oh, this is amazing. My feet got so wet last January. If they'd sold these, I would have bought them in a heartbeat. And then I'm thinking, your feet are already wet. That's like
I don't understand.
buying a condom after you get your girlfriend
What,
pregnant.
something to put over your shoe?
It's just a plastic raincoat for your shoe with a little tie around the top.
Right, okay, yeah.
Little thing, plastic bag for your shoe. They are fitted. But yeah, they now sell them. They're advertised now.
I'd wear them.
I know. Thing is, you have to buy them in advance before you get wet feet. That's my point.
Do they look like big yellow Mickey's clogs?
No.
Because that would be good.
They're black.
At €5 like them. That's what I'd say.
Exactly. You've got to, there's a big hole in the reasoning. I think the thing is they sell so much merch when weather changes. Like in the middle of summer, they sell so many hoodies if it drops below 18 degrees because people, I'm a bit chilly, I'll go buy a hoodie, and so on and so forth. And the same with ponchos. That I think they're trying to get on that train, but I'm thinking the minute you realise your feet are wet, shoe covers aren't going to do anything for you.
Not entirely.
So I think that impulse buy might be going. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't get
Oh,
that.
it was worth the discussion. Right, so now we're on the wrap up, Chris.
I didn't get the difference between and finally and the wrap up.
I didn't.
Right.
It makes sense now. Now you've explained
Yeah,
it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I should have read the notes.
I send round these show notes in early afternoon, listeners. Early afternoon, these got sent. It's 8:30. Right, so the wrap up. So, Chris, we got a review, didn't we, this week?
Oh, it's funny you should say that. Yes, we did actually. Yeah, on iTunes, it says best podcast ever. It keeps you up to date with all the news and is so funny. And that's from Kitty Cat. So thank you, Kitty Cat. If anyone else would like to give us one. No. Well, maybe the funny bit.
Yeah, because all the best podcasts are cut off halfway through when your mum calls, aren't they? Thanks, Kitty Cat. We genuinely appreciate it. I know that I'm dripping with sarcasm because I can't take compliments.
And I do want to recommend that the Dunn family, if that's what you're after, we have done a couple of the virtual park days, and they're good fun.
They really are good episodes.
We did one quite recently, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a Christmas one.
Yeah.
We did a Christmas one, so that'd be easy to find. And then we did one, last summer, was it?
Yeah, well, while
when
it was shut.
First shut.
Yeah,
when it
sort of May
first
time,
shut,
maybe.
we thought, it's only going to be shut for 3 weeks. Let's do this. How little did we know.
They're going May 16th as well.
Oh, good luck.
Ooh.
Oh, and also,
good luck.
someone else said they were going to do. Oh, sorry. Matt Chester said they're hoping to do a vlog in Disneyland Hotel when they go in December.
Oh,
cool.
that would be nice.
said,
Will it be open in December?
Virgin Vloggers. In December?
We shall see.
They haven't got an opening date yet.
No.
And it did say it was going to be shut for over a year, but it will have been over a year by December.
Yeah.
So
He says hoping to.
Yeah.
I really hope it is for you, and I really look forward to seeing your vlog as well. I mean, these days, that's why I'm so desperate to go, is I'm desperate to get more vlogs out. Speaking of which, we're on the wrap up, so I can plug this. I have uploaded the next installment of my DVC, talking about DVC videos, to our YouTube channel. Check that out, because this is the one where I talk about how much it costs and is it worth it, which I think are the two most important things. Well, those are the two things people want to know, basically. And I talk about real figures and real money, so you can decide whether or not you think it's worth it. I'm also going to ask you to check out our Disney Trivia Show, which 37 Quisney Street, which we release the first and the third Wednesday of the month. And we also have our Classics Show. This is where it all started, where we review the classics in order, and that is the second and fourth Monday of the month. And this week we are reviewing Home on the Range.
Yes, we are.
We've got it that far. This is like, in a marathon, this is kind of like mile 21. Or how long is a marathon? Only 9 kilometres. It's 42 kilometres. This is like your 37th kilometre when you're really hurting.
Yeah. I say kilometre.
Do you now?
Yeah, I do.
We'll discuss that later. So, boys, anything else to add before I start wrapping up and saying bye-bye?
No.
Yes, just one thing to add. In my haste to ready all of these changes, I forgot to put the closing music in. So today we're not going to have any. What's going to happen is we're going to say our
We're just gonna
goodbyes, and then I'm going to
dump
take
you
us
out
to
onto
a
the
car,
street.
and that's it. Yeah, you're off.
Well, no,
Unless you're
hang
listening,
on.
in which case you will get it, because I'll put it in
Whilst
the edit.
I say the last couple of things I've got to say, which are very boring, anyone in the chat, if they want to nominate a Disney song for Hugh to sing or to play us out, then please do so now. Are you not happy about that?
It's a bit short notice.
I'll tell Chris to sing it instead. So this is the boring stuff. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell notification, leave us a review, and also we have Patreon if you want to support the channel in that way. Have we got an amazing request in the chat now?
No,
Ah, damn it.
just Susie asking where else she can review it because she doesn't have iTunes.
I don't know, Chris.
Pod Chaser, I think.
Chaser. Be our guest. I don't know it well enough.
Go on then, Chris. Play us out.
Oh. That's what I did on my recording of it.
Ah.